Welcome to Reframing Visions. I am Giridhar. In this Leadership Lens series, we explore one leadership dimension at a time. Simple, practical, and in a way you can carry it into your day. Today, I want to begin with a line many of us have heard, a Peter Drucker classic. Culture eats strategy for breakfast. It's quoted so often that we sometimes forget to pause and ask what it really means. The essence is simple. Even the smartest strategy can fail if the culture beneath it is weak. But here's the part we don't talk about enough. Leaders shape culture every single day through their tone, their behavior, and the subtle signals people absorb without us realizing. Strategies may shift every year, but culture, how people think, behave, and decide, is shaped daily through leadership. And that brings us to today's conversation. How leadership and culture quietly but powerfully shape organizational and personal success.
Reframing visions, growth begins when change comes through. Reframing visions, transforming you.
Let's begin with a company that treats culture not as an initiative, but as a daily discipline, Toyota. The philosophy of Genshi Genbutsu, meaning go and see, isn't just a slogan. It's a leadership habit. Leaders spend time on the shop floor. They listen, they observe, and they ask. Teams are encouraged to stop the production line if something feels off. Questions aren't a weakness. They're a sign of responsibility. This behavior builds psychological safety. People feel safe to speak up. Quality becomes a mindset, not a metric. Toyota demonstrates that culture is built not through grand declarations, but through small behaviors repeated consistently. If Toyota shows how culture grows through everyday discipline, Ford shows us what happens when culture needs to be rebuilt from the ground up through honesty, vulnerability, and leadership courage. When Alan Mulally took over Ford in 2006, the company was struggling. Billions in losses, silos across divisions, and a leadership culture where admitting problems was seen as a failure. In weekly business reviews, every chart showed projects on track, even when the business was clearly struggling. Leaders avoided marking anything as behind schedule because the previous culture had little tolerance for bad news. Flagging of challenges wasn't seen as a signal for help. It was seen as a signal of incompetence. Mulally introduced the red, amber, green reporting. Green on track, amber work in progress, and red an issue needing support. For weeks, no one marked anything red. The old fear still held the culture hostage. Then, one leader finally marked a program as red. The room froze. But instead of reprimanding him, Mulally applauded him. The single moment cracked years of fear. Honesty became safe. Collaboration became real. And when the 2008 crisis hit, General Motors and Chrysler needed government bailouts. Ford didn't, because the culture had already been rewired for alignment, honesty, and collective problem solving. It shows that culture transforms when leaders reward truth more than perfection. If Ford shows the power of psychological safety and honesty at the top, Southwest Airlines shows what happens when dignity and empowerment become the cultural engine of a frontline organization. Southwest operates in one of the toughest industries, unpredictable, high pressure, and cost sensitive. Yet, it's consistently celebrated for having a vibrant people-centric culture. This wasn't an HR initiative. It was a leadership philosophy of Herb Geller. Take care of your people and they will take care of your passengers. And he lived it, remembering names, working night shifts with ground staff, and publicly supporting employees who made honest mistakes. This created psychological safety, empowering ownership that led to service excellence and resulted in loyalty. It proves that when leaders treat people with dignity, culture responds with performance. All these stories tell us something important about leadership. Culture doesn't begin with strategy. It begins with the leader's emotional tone. But culture isn't only a workplace idea. It's something that quietly shapes our personal spaces too. Our homes, our relationships, even the smallest daily interactions. Let me give you a simple example you've all seen. Something as ordinary as a parent helping a child with homework. If a child hesitates or makes a mistake and the parent reacts with frustration or impatience, the culture that child experiences is one of fear and withdrawal. They learn to hide mistakes, to avoid asking questions, to get it right rather than learn. But if the parent responds with curiosity, what are you finding it difficult? How can we work through this together? Then the culture becomes very different, safe, encouraging, a place where effort matters more than perfection. It's the same principle as any organization. People don't open up because we demand it. They open up because the environment feels safe enough. They respond not to what we say, but to how we show up. And that's culture in its simplest, most human form. So, the real question isn't what culture do we want at work or at home? It is, what culture does my behavior create? Culture is not a department. It is shaped in moments, big and small. So, as you move through your day, just notice small moments, because that's where culture actually takes shape. Thank you for joining this episode of Leadership Lens. Until next time, keep shaping cultures where people and performance thrive together.